Hey guys, today we're gonna talk about how to use a cell phone with China ROM. I don't know why it's called China ROM. It's Chinese, basically it's Chinese ROM with the Chinese system for Android smartphones. Um, it's yeah compared to international version. This is called China ROM. It's designed for Chinese users only instead of international users. So it's in China. It's in Chinese instead of English, but it's also missing some of the functions like Google Play services. So you might ask, why do I need to buy a China ROM instead of buying an international version? So it's easier for me to use. But a China ROM is normally cheaper to buy instead of the international version. And combined with the buying a used Chinese cell phone in the Chinese second-hand market, you could get half price for the top of line cell phones compared to buying a new or used international version. So that's why you buy a China ROM. So for China ROM, you just need to do something to configure it so that you can use it, right? So first of all, when you first received a purchased China ROM, the interface is like this, right? So all things are in Chinese. So you could um, go to settings here, and first of all, you could switch this to English. If you just got this one in fully Chinese, I'll tell you how to switch to English. You first need to find the language, of course, right? So this is all Chinese. How do we find the language? It should be somewhere. I guess the system, right? So if you miss that, it's the system, which it shows a gear icon here. Okay, and this one is language. This one is language. Okay, right now it shows Chinese, and if you click here, manage language, where you can select here English, right? So it asks you, do you want to set English as the system default language? The first one is set as default. So you click that. Okay. So now you can see English has been added to the system, and the second one is the Chinese. If you want to delete that, that's fine. But if you want to keep that, the first one is set as default. Okay, so you can see that all the menus are now set as English. You can easily read that now. If you don't trust the phone that's shipped to you, may have already installed some things you want to reset. Here's in the system and update, and the same screen, you can go to reset phone and reset, erase all data basically, right? So reset to factory status. And then now we have this English version of a China ROM. All we need to do to convert this to something we're familiar with is to add Google services. Now on the China ROM, even if it's supposed to be for Chinese users only, the Google services may have already been embedded into it. So in this case, if you go to the system settings and click search, and here you want to switch to this keyboard is currently set for Chinese, right? Chinese input. So if you want to click here, there's a button here that switches Chinese to English input here, right? So you can see the English keyboard has been enabled. So you just enter Google. You can see there's Google Play services, there's Google settings, right? So this means the Google services was actually already embedded into the China ROM. However, some phones like Huawei, because they just strictly prohibit Google services, then then Google services may not be embedded in that system. But normally, for me, this is Oppo, and for Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, all these phones may have already have Google services in the system, although you cannot see it, but it's there. Once you search Google, it will show up, right? But you still have to install all the Google services, even if it's enabled in the system. So what we do is now we look for, we go back to the main menu and go to the app market. So on your phone, depending on the manufacturer, it may be called different things, but basically they all have some kind of app market. You can install apps, right? So if you go to app market, and now we look for Google. You can see Chrome is available to install. Google is also available to install. But this Google on the second search result is actually just for searching, right? For searching stuff. So the real thing you want to add instead of Chrome and this Google is the Google Play. If we enter Play, you see that it doesn't show up, right? So it might have been, if it shows up, of course it's good, but it might have been like in Chinese version. In this case, in the first result, it's actually Google Play Market, or strictly translated Google Play Market. This is actually the Google Play Store, but it's in Chinese. So if it doesn't show up in your English search, how do you want to search for it? Is I'll show you. If you switch back to Chinese input, this keyboard like this, with 9 buttons, may be harder to use. If you click here, on the menu under the second icon, the keyboard, you can actually choose a full keyboard, which is easier for you to enter for the Chinese. I'll show you. Google is basically spelled as G-U-G-E. Google, the first one. Enter that. It should show you some things, but if it's still not showing up, then you have to enter the whole thing. The second word is Yingyong, Y-I-N-G-Y-O-N-G. And the first result, enter that. And it should, you see the second result is showing the Google app market. But if it's still not showing, you can enter the third word, which is the market, S-H-I-C-H-A-N-G, and the first word should be that. So if you do that search, it will definitely give you the Google Play Store. And in this case, I already installed it, but on yours, you should click either update or install to install Google Play services. To install the Google Market, and now it's available. If you just open that, you just have to sign in your Google account, then you can start to install all the services such as Gmail, Google Translate, Google Maps, and all that. And that's how you basically convert this China ROM into a fully functional Android system with Google services.